Hey everybody, thanks for dropping in to check out this new HUNTSTAND original film. We think you're really going to enjoy this one, and hopefully it gets you thinking about some of those opportunities to hunt beyond turkey and whitetail seasons. I've been hog hunting for a while now, and I think you would really dig it if you haven't already tried it. So thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe to the Field Notes Outdoors YouTube channel, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and when you have a chance, pop over to HUNTSTAND.com and see what we've got cooking over there. Thanks again. What's unique for me about this hunt is I've done a lot of different big game hunting all over North America. I've hunted hogs in a number of states, but I've never done any night hunting, not even for predators.
Night hunting, it's really hard to describe unless you really get out there and just do it.
The philosophy at somewhere like this is like, if you can't beat them, join them. So they figured out a way to incorporate hog hunting into their operation so that there's a sustainable population that people can come out and hunt and enjoy responsibly. So we just got down to Woods and Water in Georgia. Not running on a whole lot of sleep, probably not gonna get a whole lot of sleep tonight. It's probably about 80 degrees outside, and Phil here from Burris is getting some hand warmers heated up.
Gotta have something warm to shoot at with thermal.
Yeah, so we're gonna go stick some hand warmers to the target. We do not have these rifles sighted in yet. Our shots are gonna be short this week, probably all within about 50 yards. We're gonna go get these things dialed in the pitch black with thermal. So let's go do it.
Right there. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? That's wild. Wow. So what I'd say is go ahead and send another shot, and without making any changes, and see what happens.
Never having shot with thermal before, it feels a little bit disorienting coming out here and sighting in a gun in the pitch black, but 4 shots dead center, so it was a really easy process. And now Phil's gonna get his dialed. We're gonna get out there and see if we can't shoot something.
Road, it's kind of a back way into the stand. It's about 10 yards off the road. Since it's dark, you may or may not be able to see it unless you're shining your light, and I don't recommend doing that because of the hogs. If there are hogs in the field, you don't want to disrupt them.
We got our equipment all dialed in with our thermal optics and squeezed in a quick hunt, but really it was just a matter of getting acclimated, you know, getting comfortable with the equipment and whatnot. So tonight is really our first hunt. We're gonna ease our way in right here to this ground blind. Some pigs have been showing up regularly on camera, and whether they show up in daylight or darkness, we're gonna be ready for them. Because hogs spend so much time moving at night, they're a pretty nocturnal animal. It's definitely advantageous to be able to get out there after dark and go after them. And one of the best ways to do that, and the safest ways to do that, is with thermal optics. Just got settled in here nice and comfortable in this box blind, and just a beautiful, relaxing evening. Just sitting here waiting, and the thing about these pigs is you don't really know when they're gonna show up or if they're gonna show up. They're kind of sporadic animals to a certain degree. It'd be nice if someone would show up during the daylight, but if they don't, we're just gonna sit here and wait on them well into the dark. We're ready for it. We got food, we got thermal optics. As we've learned the last couple of days here, whether it be the weather forecast or just the moon phase, whatever it is, just like any other wildlife, hogs and their movements and their predictability are influenced by a variety of factors that are out of our control. I mean, this is a totally free-range wild game hunt. And as we've witnessed during the last 48 hours, it's not necessarily easy to kill pigs. So seeing as the hogs were mostly hunkered down throughout daylight hours, it was a perfect opportunity to meet up with a couple of local guys and learn about the deep hunting roots of this area.
Oh, my name's Thad Beckham. I'm a primitive hunter. I've been hunting with primitive weapons for over 30 years. My reason for doing it is because I like the challenge, and I like making all my equipment and the satisfaction you get from building all your stuff and taking game with it. It doesn't have to be a big deer, it can be anything, a squirrel, rabbit, and you get really excited. But when you do get lucky and you kill a nice buck or, you know, a pig, It gives you just a really good sense of satisfaction. The Deep South has always been known for hunting. I mean, people here had a hunting culture. And I guess if you back up 15,000 years, I mean, right here where I'm standing, you can find debitage flakes from where people were making hunting tools right here. I found 2 this morning within 100 yards of where I'm sitting.
This was kind of my summer project 2 years ago when COVID hit. I always wanted to have a little museum, a little trophy room, so this was my summer project. I kind of renovated this little storage building and kind of organized some of my artifacts. Still organized some of the stuff, but most of the stuff, about 70% of it's here from Central and South Georgia. Here we got a lot of different pottery. This is from the different ages in there. Some of this stuff dates back to the woodland period. Some of it is more Mississippian period. This is some of the what they call drill bits. This is the drills they use to drill holes. These bigger points, a lot of people say arrowheads, and that's kind of a general term, but a more general term would be spear points. And these bigger ones in here, a lot of those were spears or either knives. They weren't actually broadhead points that you use on an arrow. These are some of the what they call darts that they used on the atlatl. They're kind of mid-range size points right here. This is some of the tools and stuff. Here's a pipe. This is made out of soapstone. It's a material that they used before pottery. This is a hoe. This is pretty more modern. When the Indians got more into agriculture, they'd use bigger stuff like this to till the land. This was what they used as a scraper. You see where the thumbs fits right here and the hand fits right over this. And the archaeologists said this was a really old piece in there because it's so big. They'd scrape the meat from the hide, so probably like a the woolly mammoth in it, one this big and this scraping.
Did you know a lot of that about this place before you got it?
I did not know. I did not have
Really?
a clue when I first bought it. I had no clue there was any artifact until I started building roads. I started getting my bulldozer, pushing up ground, started making my food plots. And every time I disturbed the soil, after it rained, I come back and I just pick up stuff everywhere. I was like, holy mackerel, this stuff,
That's
there's stuff
unbelievable.
everywhere.
Last night we sat out there for about 7 hours, mainly in the dark. We caught a little bit of dusk right there at the end, but the majority of it was in the dark, just constantly scanning with the thermal. We saw some varmints. We heard a little bit of rustling in the brush that were probably some hogs. It sounded like hogs, probably not deer, but they never ended up coming out on the food plot, and they definitely didn't hit the feeder. So they've been acting a little bit weird. The weather change has probably affected things a bit, but we're going to be covering such a massive area tonight that hopefully the odds are in our favor.
We're going to be focusing on this 900-acre food plot over here. It's mainly peanuts from last season. There's still a couple of peanuts on the ground, but they replanted it in wheat mostly. So really our game plan, our plan of attack tonight is I'm going to set 2 of y'all up over here with thermals. We're going to put 1 over here with a thermal, and I'm going to kind of sit up on this ridge with a thermal monocular. And that way, just with the hills and everything, we'll be able to cover the whole field.
So we've been struggling the last couple of nights. The pigs just haven't been cooperating, meaning they haven't been showing up. We did have some action last night. It was a long night. We were out there for about 7 hours. In the last hour, I did probably about the millionth scan with the thermal 360 around us. Light housing, as some people call it. And sure enough, there were 4 hogs standing out there, but the wind shifted right at that exact moment when I was getting on them. They took off, we chased after them, and just were not able to catch up with them before they got into the timberline. So we're gonna head out to a different spot tonight that hasn't been hunted in a while, and it sounds like you got some pictures.
Yeah, we got some pictures. We're gonna head out to a spot. Haven't hunted in about 2 weeks. Got some pictures showing up last night, starting at about 5:30 right there. Those are some small hogs, but as you see, as the night progresses, bigger groups are coming in. Got 2 stands just like this. I'm gonna put you all in one and fill up in another one, and hopefully everything aligns tonight finally, and we can have a pig skinning party and bring some meat home.
Struggling the last couple of days to get any pigs in front of us at night. We've really been trying to do it with thermal, especially this time of year, and just pigs being what they are. They move a lot at night. They're really nocturnal animals, but just haven't been able to get one in front of us, except for last night. We did have a group of 4 that just showed up, and then the wind switched and things didn't work out as planned. But what's cool about using this clip-on thermal optic from Burris is that you can easily transition from daytime to nighttime hunting or a traditional rifle scope to a thermal setup. And if you wanted to, you could even use this during the day. Let's say you were stalking some woods or something, and you want to look for heat signatures and find those pigs in the heavy covers you're spotting and stalking. That'd be an option as well. But you just clip this thing right on the scope or take it off as needed, and it just gives you that flexibility so you can just keep hunting 24 hours a day.
A lot of people are all gung-ho about, you know, eradicating hogs. You know, if we can get rid of all our hogs, we're going to save millions of dollars in farmland. And, you know, simple matter is that that's not going to happen. Whether you eradicate them all in Georgia, they're still going to come from Alabama or South Carolina or Florida. So, you know, we as a business, we kind of looked at that and said, you know, we can't beat them, so how can we gain from them? And we kind of went the route of hog hunts, and everybody loves to come down here. It's kind of paid off for us, and it's an awesome thing, and it's very enjoyable.
So obviously one of the main reasons I've always hunted and continue to hunt is for meat. And one of my favorite things is being in camp with different people and watching other techniques for breaking down animals, little tips and tricks that you can learn along the way. For me, one of the main reasons that I love to hunt multiple species is because I like to keep a variety of species in my freezer for consumption throughout the year. And the first time I ate a wild hog, it made me realize that I'm gonna wanna have a hog in my freezer throughout the year, every year, because the meat is tender, it's delicious, it's lean, and most of the hogs that are running around out there are eating very natural food sources. They've got a variety in their diet, so it's really healthy meat at the end of the day, way more healthy than domestic pork. Anybody who says they're not worth eating or keeping, they're either just being lazy, they don't know how to properly care for the meat, or they don't know how to get it in the kitchen and cook it right. So not only is this my first thermal hog, it's literally the best hog I've ever shot, biggest boar I've ever shot, just a freaking freak. What a wild animal.